Well, hello and welcome to the Shifts and Pucks News Pack for Tuesday, August the 30th. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Shifts and Pucks, Facebook.com Shifts and Pucks, YouTube.com Shifts and Pucks, Twitch.com Shifts and Pucks. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. As, of course, a reminder, I interviewed Kent Wilson about hockey content and what's going on in that space there on Sunday. You can check that out. A couple weeks ago, we did a podcast with Brian Weed, BCIT instructor, about the sports radio industry, as we're still kind of looking at what's going on in Vancouver and Calgary in terms of sports radio rights here. So that's been on the mind of a few people. So we did that as well. So check those out. And we are still kind of working on the schedule for this week. It's been a very quiet week in terms of hockey news, and there's not a lot to talk about, and people are all busy as well. So may not have a regular podcast until next week, but keep an eye on that. We'll have our news packs and update that way as well. But we'll start this with the Women's World Championships, and the best rivalry in hockey was in Denmark today, and it was Canada and the U.S. women's started there, and Canada was outshot in the first period, but they ended up coming away with a 2-0 lead at 3:29. Sarah Fillier scored from Renata Fass and Sarah Potomac at 3:29, and then Ella Shelton pounced on a loose puck, knocked it in, and Canada came into out of the first period with a 2-0 lead. And so Canada, U.S. outshot them, but Canada got the goals there. So that was what was going on there as well. And then however, in the second period, the U.S. took over and tied the game. They got Megan Keller scored a goal at the 4:16 mark of the second period. Hannah Bilka, Alex Carpenter got the assist, and then Kelly Pennick at 11:11 from Caleb Barnes tied the game at 2. And we headed into the third period tied at 2. These teams play 1-goal games. These teams play an average of 3-2 games. The U.S. was in control for most of this game, even though Canada had the 2-0 lead. The U.S. was certainly in control. And then Lacey Eden at the 3:14 mark makes it 3-2 from Savannah Harmon and Megan Keller. So Keller gets a goal and an assist. And then so it's 3-2. Kendall Coyne Schofield then scores at 13:28 of the third period. She just grabs it was a great little deflection pass from Savannah Harmon, finds Coyne Schofield all by her lonesome. She tucks it in and knocks it in, and it's 4-2. Then Canada takes a late penalty, and then with the net empty, Hillary Knight scores at the 19:06 mark from Taylor Heiss and Rory Gilday. And the U.S. come away with the 5-2 victory over Canada, and they finish first in their conference shots on goal. The U.S. had 33, Canada had 28 there. And as far as the stats go here for the U.S., led by Megan Keller, of course, had 2 points. Savannah Harmon had 2 assists. And, of course, Hillary Knight, a goal as well. So it's good. Alex Carpenter had 4 shots on goal. And for Canada, and then in goal, the winning goaltender for the U.S. was Nicole Hensley. She made 26 saves on 28 shots. For Canada, of course, you ended up, of course, with Sarah Fillier with a goal, Ella Shelton with a goal, and MRS Mashmeyer made 28 saves for Canada in the loss. There was a 1,216 there. And now we've got coming up here, you got Canada taking on Switzerland on Thursday. Finland will take on Czechoslovakia. USA will take on Hungary. And Switzerland, will take on Japan in the quarterfinals. So that schedule is set as that basically moves us into that next round here in the Women's World Cup as we move there and move on. So that is what's happening in quarterfinals. Denmark will be relegated to Division 1 and replaced by the division winner France. So Germany and Denmark are out of the tournament. We have the final 8 going on there. So keep an eye on that. Those games start on Friday. And just in terms of what the other scores were, just so I didn't touch on those yesterday. But Germany beat Denmark 3-2. Finland shut out Switzerland 4-0, and the Czechs shut out Sweden 3-0. There was a signing today in the National Hockey League. Sam Steele signed a contract with the Minnesota Wild. He did first round pick in 2016, 20 points in 68 games this year with the Ducks. 1 year, $825,000 for the Wild. He joins the Wild there. He, of course, 30th overall pick in that 2016 draft, former Regina Pat. He scored 70 points in 72 games with the Pats. But Steele hasn't been able to get himself into a regular. A lot of people had some high hopes for him. But the Ducks linked him to a 1-year prove-it contract. The Wild are going to give him a 1-year prove-it contract. So we'll see what happens with Sam Steele here as he continues his NHL career. And the Pittsburgh Penguins today extended Mike Sullivan to a contract. This is, of course, a 3-year contract extension. So he's scheduled to remain with the Penguins till 2027. And sorry about that. And he's, of course, 2-time Stanley Cup winner, as mentioned. And he's 54 years old, 297 wins, 156 losses, 54 OT during the regular season, 44 and 38 in the playoffs since he took over in December of 2015. Of course, won the Cup in 2016, won the Cup in 2017, and is the first American-born coach to win multiple Cups, and is one of 2 coaches in NHL history who win championships, and each of his first 2 years behind the bench. Bob Johnson did coach the Pittsburgh Penguins, but he got him to 1 cup in that there. He won 1 Stanley Cup with them and not 2. So that's there as well. So that is what's going on as the Penguins have basically brought the band back together. They brought back Malkin after it looked like he was going to be a free agent. Chris Letang back, Brian Rust back. Still some question. Evan Rodriguez still out there. And I know that a lot of people are pointing to Calgary, but I don't know what I don't think Pittsburgh's not interested in him. So we'll have to see as camp comes closer here, as training camp continues to have happen. And by the way, just as we go on here, a couple of other interesting tidbits here. The Calgary Wranglers made a couple of signings yesterday I wanted to touch on as well. As they added to their coaching staff. They signed 3 forwards yesterday, and they added to their coaching staff as they added a former hitman as well in there. So as I just pull this up here, Calder Brooks, Lucas Fuke, Feuk, and Matt Marcineau to 1-year, 2-way AHL, ECHL contracts. Brooks has 19 goals and 18 assists in 43 regular season games with the Flames' newest ECHL affiliation. He played for the Hitmen starting in from 2011 to 2014. Fuchs was at development camp in July, played last season in Sweden with Väsby, 11 goals and 14 assists in 27 games. He's a fourth-round pick of the Flame in the 2019 NHL draft. And Marcineau is a Calgary native. He played in Sweden last year, 7 goals and 8 assists in 31 games, 59 goals and 82 assists in 184 career ECHL games. And then the Wranglers also have added to their coaching staff today, as well as they've added Mackenzie Skapski and video coach team services Daniel Johnson. They'll join Mitch Love as part of the coaching staff. Of course, GM Brad of the team, Brad Pascal. Skapski will work with the director of goaltending, Jordan Singlet, of course, in that goaltending tree, as well as Jason LaBarbera. He has worked with the Chilliwack Chiefs of the BCHL, Portland Winterhawks, Trinity Western, and the Fraser Valley Thunderbirds as a goaltending coach and scout. Skapski was drafted into the 6th round for the New York Rangers, 6th round, 170th overall, 2013 NHL draft. 28-year-old goaltending coach, played in 2 games as well, winning both in there. And Johnson returns to the Wranglers. He spent the last 2 seasons as a video coach and assistant coach with the Brandon Wheat Kings, played with the Portland Winterhawks and Lethbridge Hurricanes. Ended his playing career in 2017-18 after 5 seasons in the ECHL. The Philadelphia Flyers, just to go back to the NHL, we'll close on this, have tweeted something interesting today, and it's not rumored stuff here, but it's about tickets. And I find this interesting only because, of course, we went through a good chunk of a couple of seasons here playing games with no fans, and you wonder how teams are going to try to recover that and get back that fan base that they lost. The Flyers have released a pass. You can get a ticket for 4 games per month, October to April. Game dates for each month will be released 2 weeks before the following month for only $99. So they tweeted that out. And so that is something I'm wondering if other teams do that as well. So we'll be curious about how other teams operate on that as they try to recover the fans. And hopefully this year, this can be a first year in both Canada and the US, a full season of fans. Touch wood on that. So that gets us caught up on the news for today. Of course, you can follow us all individually on Twitter. Tyler TNOBLE, Devin Gordhouse 09, Sean Beardy Canuck 03, Christian Schneitz SCHNEIDZ. I am KEVOLE on Twitter. Shifts and Pucks, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. We thank you for watching and listening. We'll talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.